For our target 3, we will be setting up notes for creating equivalent expressions. So essentially, this one has 4 learning skills, which means if you want to put the last learning skill on the back, you're more than welcome to do that. But just like last week, what I want you to do is take the top of the notes here, the top of your paper, and fold it all the way to the bottom so that you're folding it in half. The first thing I want you to do at the top is to write down what is in black here, target number 3, creating equivalent expressions. So that is your first goal, just put the title. In addition, on the top portion of your paper, you are going to be writing 3 side notes. The first one is essential question in black. Then you skip a line and put learning skill number 1, skip a few more lines, put learning skill number 2. So put those 3 things in black on the left-hand side of your paper. You notice I leave space more for learning skill 1 and 2 than the essential question. So right now your job is to write everything that you see in black. Target number 3, creating equivalent expressions, essential question, learning skill number 1, and learning skill number 2. Both of those things will go on the top half of your paper. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. What I would like you to do is go ahead and pause the video and play it again once you're done writing everything in black. Okay, so now that you're back, I want you to go ahead and continue on by writing out the essential question, how do I apply the distributive property to create equivalent expressions? Then I want you to write out learning skill number 1, which is understand what an equivalent expression is. And lastly, I want you to write out learning skill number 2, create equivalent expressions with numbers and variables. So go ahead and write those 3 things that are in red, green, and purple. When you are done with this section, we are going to move on to the bottom half of your paper. Please feel free to pause while you write everything down. Notice that I left space between learning skill number 1 and number 2. You want enough room to be able to write notes. So that is the top half of your paper. Let's go on to the bottom half of your paper. The bottom half of your paper will have 2 items, learning skill number 3 and learning skill number 4. Like I said before, if you want plenty of room, you might want to go ahead and write learning skill number 4 on the back of your paper. Please feel free to do that. So for learning skill number 3 and learning skill number 4, those 2 titles, go ahead and put on the left-hand side of your paper. You notice I have plenty of room between each learning skill and underneath each learning skill. So go ahead and write down learning skill number 3 and number 4. Good. Now that you have done that, go ahead and write down what you see in turquoise, in red, and in black. So you're going to write down, understand what the distributive property is and how it can be used to create equivalent expressions. And I also want you to write down, apply the distributive property to create equivalent expressions, the box method, and you're going to copy down these 4 problems. So go ahead and do that on your paper. You have 2 sections to do, and you can go ahead and pause it until you're done. Just a reminder, make sure that you have ample space. If you want to put learning skill number 4 on the back so that you have plenty of space to work out your problems, please feel free to do that. You can pause this video and at any time access it so that you make sure you have your notes template ready for our next learning day.